Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a presentation for the benefits of object-oriented programming. My name is Carlos, and I'll be your presenter. If you have any questions, please hold on to the end of the presentation. Current challenges. There is no separation between each program functionalities, which make it difficult to assign tasks. It is hard to observe job performances since everyone works on the same project. The programs we develop have constant updates for new requirements. This is fine. Our team have the perfect capability to do that. What is not fine is the time that is consumed to handle all these adjustments. Recapture requirements is difficult and time consuming as well. The planning to analyze these new requirements stopped us from working on the project. Because of that, realignment takes time to get the project back on track. Our solutions is object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming is a type of a programming in which programmers define not only the data type of a data structure, but also the types of operations, functions, modules, or classes that can be applied to the data structure. In this way, the data structure becomes an object that includes both data and functions. In addition, programmers can create relationships between one object and another. For example, objects can inherit characteristics from other objects. One of the principal advantages of object-oriented programming techniques over other programming techniques is that they enable programmers to create modules that do not need to be changed when a new type of object is added. A programmer can simply create a new object that inherits many of its features from existing objects. This makes object-oriented programs easier to modify. The object-oriented approach uses a set of diagramming techniques known as the Unified Modeling Language, or the UML. It focuses on the three architectural views of a system: functional, static, and dynamic. The functional view describes the external behavior of the system from the perspective of the user. Things like user cases and use case diagrams are used to depict the functional view. The static view is described in terms of attributes, methods, classes, relationships, and messages. Class responsibilities corporations cards, or the CRC cards, class diagrams, and object diagrams are used to portray the static view. The dynamic view is represented by sequence diagrams, cooperation diagrams, and state charts. All diagrams are refined iteratively until the requirements of the user information system are fully understood. Finally, the information system is developed through a combination of traditional relational database and object-oriented programming, rather than through object-oriented program methodologies for both programming and database. Here is an example of one of the UML diagrams. Each box represents a different object, class, function, module. So if you need to change the wall color function, you can modify the wall module. If you need to add a half-closed function in the Windows module, you can add it in the Windows module without going through the entire project. Now what we're going to talk about is the benefits from object-oriented programming. Objects created for object-oriented programming can easily be used or reused in other programs. This saves time and effort in the development process. Large programs are very difficult to write. Object-oriented programs force designers to go through an extensive planning phase, which makes for better designs with less errors. In addition, once a program reaches a certain size, object-oriented programs are actually easier to program than non-object-oriented ones. That's because we can reuse all the functionalities and data that we set up for other classes. An object-oriented program is much easier to modify and maintain than a non-object-oriented program. It is easier for another developer to take over because object-oriented programs or modules have structures to follow. So although a lot of work is spent before the program is written, less work is actually needed to maintain it over time. If you have any questions, please present them at this time. Or if you would like to further the discussions, I can be reached at this phone number or this email. This concludes the presentation. Again, my name is Carlos, and thank you for your time.